At the top left of Botanical it is Shin, and in the bottom right we do have Cure. So Cure, of course, the Terran as people call him, has been in a little bit of a slump, I want to say, lately. Hasn't really been that hot. I think he came off a round of 4 finish from the Esports World Cup, but after that it got kind of quiet around Cure for a little bit. Like, he was in kind of every tournament, but winning? Not as much. Shin, on the other hand, has been always kind of a try-hard, you know? He's like one of those guys who just can't help it but give it their best. And sometimes that's really, really strong. Sometimes it just falls flat against people like Maru, for example. That's a common nemesis to Shin, but Shin is like he's never gonna give up. Like, if you know the fantasy GG timings, sometimes you can kind of apply this to Shin as well. He likes to just stick in there, hang in there, and just be aggressive until he's got nothing left, and then, well, or he wins, you know, he overpowers. That's kind of Shin in a nutshell. Shin is like one of those Dragon Ball Z characters who is just throwing out a big energy ball and just never stops. And eventually he's gonna overpower because he's more stamina. Or he won't because he runs out of stamina, or his you know, power is a little bit too weak or something. So, now we do see the Reaper going across the map here. It's a Reaper Expand from Cure. He's making 2 Marines behind us. This is actually a little bit uncommon, but this should be a 3cc setup here. Now a 3rd gas on the way. And I'm not expecting Banshee Cloak with this as well. The Reaper's dancing with the Lynx here a little bit. He's gonna, of course, try to delay the mining if he can, but the Queen is gonna pop. He gets a Ling, which is nice. It's not very common. And he can kind of delay the 3rd base for now, because Shin hasn't taken any yet, and yeah, he's gonna confirm that now. He sees, oh, you don't have a 3rd, but he will miss the drone, I think, that's moving out right now, and yeah, even Shin being a little bit cautious. Oh, actually, he's gonna find it. So now Shin pulls back the drone again. We have seen a resurgence of 2-base Muta styles again. Oh, I think for some reason it didn't work there. And there's a 2nd barracks actually, so no starport at all here. So this could be a strong mid-game timing attack follow-up. This could just be a 2-1-1, basically off the 3 command center and with like a bunch of Hellions. But as we can see, he's already bringing over the factory, so it's actually gonna be as fast as possible into those Marines. So this looks like a 2-1-1 to me here, just with 3 commands in this. It's an interesting approach here to this opening. We've seen most of the times like the 1-1-1, of course, for the Terran players, where they just get a bunch of Hellions and then roam around, get a few Banshees, and then get a little bit later their timing attack going with stim and combat shields +1 armor and damage, of course. And yeah, the 3 tanks, right? 2-3 tanks we usually see. So this is a different one. It's gonna have that 16 Marine drop, which is gonna be not the fastest one because there's the 3rd CC that came before. But it's still gonna be reasonably fast. It's gonna be faster than the attack that you usually see of 3 bases here with Terrans when they have 3 barracks and tank production going with that. So this is not a fortified push, but it's gonna be more of a roaming map control, maybe a little bit of a harassment force. As you can see, already the first 2 medevacs in production, so this is gonna hit very, very fast. Only 2 Hellions here to secure the front. 3 Marines are gonna chase this. He's gonna hide the rest. So Shin does not know what's going on. Shin, on the other side, is actually going into a spire, into a baneling nest, and he just finished up his 3rd base. So the 3rd base is quite late from the Zerg. As you can see, 6 drones here right now, or it used to be 2 there a second ago, and now it's 2 at the Terran as well. So the Terran economy is almost matching the Zerg's economy here. That means actually this is really good for Terran. Oh, that's a nice scout. He's gonna see the double medevac, so he knows exactly what's going on. And yeah, basically this is really good for Terran economically. But the tech is gonna be actually quite a little bit better for Shin. If he can get his mutas out, if he can crush these medevacs potentially, that would be the catch, which completely throws back Cure. Now that's a nice run by here. 5 links, didn't expect him to get that much damage. It's gonna snag another SCV here. 4 SCVs, doesn't even lose a link. Really well done there by Shin. And let's put some pressure on to Cure, but honestly, like, Cure is already overtaking Shin in the worker count. Oh, he snipes the baits. Can he snipe the mutas? He's trying, but he doesn't get it done. Too many links. There's no upgrade on those links, but they just have too much DPS since they got a really nice surround. And in the end, this drop is busted. I think this was quite good for Shin. He did not lose a muta, he did lose a few banes and a few links. Yeah, man, this is amazing for Shin. Oh my god, he completely smacked that one. Look at that. 14 Marines, 2 medevacs, 2 Hellions. Now the tank here on the high ground is going to be exposed. I mean, he's just going to trade out against those Marines. There was no medevac healing with that. He's gonna kill off the turret as well. He kills all of the SCVs there at the 3rd base. Oh my god, this is a disastrous opening here for Cure. And he basically ran into the open arms there of Shin. Shin was like, yeah man, I've got the perfect counter to your 2-1-1 setup if you are not careful. And he wasn't careful enough. He moved into deep. He didn't stay on creep. He didn't just control the map. He tried to move in and do some harassment, and he got completely caught there. Now he has to pay the price. He loses the army, he loses economy. Behind this, of course, Shin is growing like a madman. He's going into a 4th base, he's getting his evolution chambers if we can find them. There they are, starting the upgrades. He has the 3rd base already oversaturated, so he's on a very healthy drone count. Once his base finishes up, he can immediately transfer a bunch of drones over there. This is looking amazing. He's starting up his Baneling speed. He should probably throw down... He's about to finish up his +1. Should probably throw down an infestation pit even. Maybe that's a little bit too much to ask for at this stage of the game, but yeah. Shin is just cruising. Dealing some more damage here to the SCV line. Is not really letting Cure go above 50 SCVs. That's kind of crazy, man. Like, work is active. It's been around 50 SCVs for a while for Cure. He never went up to 60, so he never got this command center fully saturated. And we already have 83 drones here for Shin. He has been droning like a madman now. He should probably, yeah, he's making 20 more links. He's making another hatchery out there, and I hope... Oh, that was this hatchery. I kind of want to see him throw down a macro hatch, perhaps. Just because it's going to be so link heavy and bane heavy. But he already has a bunch of links and banes. He's probably going to have enough to smash this army here. Yeah, this should be a possible kill. The issue is there's no creep. He loses the queen as well. So it's going to be tough to engage, of course. You don't really want to fight with the tanks and the Marines at the same time. So he's just gonna let this base go. He has the other one already about to finish up here. And I think it's a smart choice. You don't really need that one. He's gonna throw down another one over here. There's enough bases to take. It's a very interesting thing about this map, by the way. Now snipes the medevac. He loses a muta to the Vikings, but still, it feels like everything that Cure is bleeding off is just a little bit more expensive. And Shin's units, just because of his mining, are a little bit more expandable. Now drilling claws with a mine transition coming in here. Oh, what is he? What did he shoot there? What did he shoot there? A tank! Oh my god. He accidentally shot a tank. Okay, and he killed it. That was not on purpose, I can guarantee you. He's still making tanks. That was a terrible move. Muter's coming in, gonna snipe the sensor turret here. He's gonna snipe a tank now. Doesn't miss the hit there, unfortunately. Is the sensor turret gonna survive? Yeah, actually, he's gonna get repaired. Injury to insult, insult to injury, whichever you like it. Now, +2 and 2 on the way here. For both players, about to finish up for Cure. That's the only department he has kind of a lead in. That's the timing on the +2. Oh, Shin cannot get the missile turret here, just barely, not enough DPS or burst damage to smack that one down in one hit. And the snap repair there was amazing from Cure, making that turret stay alive. And at least get a trade here against those Muters. The flock has been quite big, but it's time to transition here. We see this 3 spine crawlers on the way. It's making a hive. We have the infestation pit done, of course. There should be some more static D maybe even on the other bases as well. And Cure is kind of still in a transitional point against what Shin is doing right now, where he's already going away from. We do see a Thor coming in. He's making Widow Mines. He's getting his 3-3. There's no ghosts. He's investing all of that gas into Vikings and Thors, and it's just no ghosts, right? So why no ghosts against Muters? They would of course stand up to them in a straight up fight, but the issue with the snipe ability is that if the Muters just walk away, well, you're not gonna get any of them ever sniped down, so yeah. And in the meantime, Shin looks like he's about to transition into a deeper composition here. It's either gonna be Ultralisk or it's gonna be Lurkers. Since there's no Hydra Den yet and no Lurker Den yet, I'm pretty sure he's just gonna throw down an Ultra Cavern. But yeah, how are you gonna deal with Ultras without any ghosts, right? No snipes? You're gonna have a bad time. We're looking at 46 Banelings here. That's actually more than Marines, which is 45. So it's 1 Baneling per Marine. This should be quite the massacre if Shin decides to move in, and he needs to bleed off a few units since he can't produce anything because he doesn't really have any leeway. But this is not the time, I agree. He's throwing down the Ultralisk Cavern right now. He's going on to Adrenal Glands as well and going up to 3-3. So if you can just buy some more time for the Ultralisk transition to actually be in play, well then he's gonna have a very, very nice time here against Cure in that next engagement, and specifically after the next engagement. He's just gonna go around again with the Muters. Hasn't been really making many Mutalisks in the past few minutes. And he's staying on the upgrades dev right now. So there is a Ghost Academy, but there's no ghosts for Cure. And Cure is also, he's maxed, so he kind of needs to bleed off a few units to actually get some ghosts going, and it's exactly what he's starting to produce here right now. Cure is looking strong on this setup. It's a very fortified position. He has a bunch of tanks, a bunch of turrets, he has a bunch of Widow Mines here, and Shin is trying to move into the meat grinder. Let's see how the efficiency is gonna go in this one. If this planetary stays alive, there might just be too many Banelings, but if the planetary stays alive, I think, oh yeah, Cure is probably quite happy with that trade. We can have a look at the efficiency here in this fight. Shin destroyed about 5,000 resources, not even, and Cure killed about 7,000. So that's a very nasty trade here for Cure. Shin not really, well, he doesn't really care though. He has a big bank. He just wanted to free up supply for Ultralisks, so he just wanted to throw away his army. That's the big issue. Even though this setup looked so nice for Cure, actually what is missing is, like, there's no obstructions in front of the command center. So this, as you usually see here, there's like depots, there are turrets, there's another command center, here's another command center, this is a planetary, there's a few tanks behind. This position, even though it has a few tanks, it has Widow Mines in front, has a Liberator now set up as well. There's nothing really blocking this entrance. Like having 2 barracks here They could do Cure such a big favor. Just throwing down extra barracks. You don't even need to produce from them. You can just have them as like fortifications. Those are pretty cheap, 1,000 health, and you can still use them for extra production, of course. Now, coming in again here, this time with the Ultralisks. Can SHIN break him? Again, the issue is the first defense line. Oh my god, the Ghosts not being microed against the Banes. They, of course, take the extra damage now. The Planetary is just gonna fall. And as you can see, with no additional frontline defense, like obstruction, this army just rolls in and just explodes on what's already important there. There's nothing really that blocks it from coming in, and behind this SHIN is mining from one gold base. He's setting up the second gold base. He's mining in the top right. He's mining in the middle right. He's mining in the middle right as well. He doesn't even mine from all of these locations because he can't possibly saturate them. Like, this is a very smart saturation. He's kind of moving outwards with his drones a little bit more here, as you can see here in the top right, and on this location he's making a little bit, mining a little bit more. And what this enables him, he's just having constantly a massive income. A massive income. Have a look at this. Look at this massive income. And he can just throw away armies like this. Finally, we have a turret in front, but that doesn't have much health. It's only 250. It gets blown up immediately here. And in the end, the Bioforce is just running away. That's why these units just seemingly don't die. Because nothing is actually shooting at them. And finally he gets into a structure forest there, and there he has some room to actually work against the army. And then, as you can see, once the Terrans actually shoot at those Ultralisks, they go down. There's not much those can do. But like only a turret line of defense, that's not gonna be enough. I don't think so. And yeah, SHIN is like getting this space, he's getting this space, he's probably gonna get this space, and so he's gonna take all of the other Romanian bases. Cure's running out of resources. He needs to find a new angle. He probably needs to grab this here and secure the high ground over there. There's even gonna be a drop now here in the north. So yeah, Cure is having a very tough time, and SHIN is just rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. I have so much money, I'm just gonna throw that at you and try to blow you up. And Cure is not making any headway whatsoever. Even diffusing the mines here, that's why I don't really like mines that much. Of course, they can be amazing, but sometimes they can just be trash. There's the drop, and now we see also a attack here to the right side. Of course, here is quite a big forest of structures to funnel through for those Banes and Ultras, so the Bio actually has a lot of potential to shoot down everything before it gets too close. But as you can see, like, if you take a look at the battle report, there's a lot of structures that have been killed, but unfortunately they don't show, apparently, I guess. But yeah, a bunch of depots went down, a bunch of turrets went down, so if I'm SHIN, like, he only took these to occupy those spaces, but yeah, this one is already saturating. There we go, the drone transfer. If I'm SHIN, I'm gonna start to mine from these areas, actually. Because he doesn't care if he loses 20 drones, he can just remake them instantly. He has so much lava. 32 cocoons right now, and 32, I guess those are Banes now. And then 30 lava as well, so he can't possibly even spend his lava. Cure needs to repair his buildings. He needs to max out again. He doesn't even have maximum supply right now because he lost so many depots. That's a nice mine shot there, 20 kills. That's really great. That's what you want to see here for Cure. Can he get some more of those? Oh, big fungal and the Bane train coming in, but barely not connecting with the Ghost here. A crucial save for Cure, but he was so occupied in doing that he lost a command center to freaking ground units, which could have been lifted. Now Cure Does he see this? He doesn't even know about this. This was such an easy harassable position here for a Liberator just to set up. He's gonna get a kill on this base, but he does find the creep over there, and he needs to connect the dots. Like, this is the easiest harassable position. He can just push buildings to this place and just stand his army here and shoot this down. And meanwhile, I mean, this is about to be 30% mined out already. Kyo's finding this base over here. A queen is attacking that, which is like, hey, this is our base here. This is Zerg territory. I need to inject. That's crazy. Now the queen's gonna get shut down, and this base as well. I hope he makes the extra mile and just moves these 5 marines over there into the bottom left as well, which he's not gonna do, unfortunately. So there we go. So many Banes, so many Lings. Yeah, Cure is just... he's running out of money. He has a bunch of SCVs, but he needs to transfer actually some of them over here. There's 16, 9 out of 16. He has 20 on the other base here. And Shin kind of sees, alright, you wanna grow into the bottom left? Well, I can make something. Oh, he saw it, and then it gets away, it throws a fungal, it whiffs, okay. In the end, good dodge. How did this thing die? Oh, I think it got fungal. It didn't whiff, it killed the medevac. But this command center is gonna get killed. He needs to repair this, he cannot lose this. Oh no! And he loses the command center. Man! Kyo is not having a good day here. Shin is just toying with his food right now. I mean, look at this. His bank is just, it keeps on growing and growing. He has 90 drones still. He's gonna do another drop into the main. What main, you say? You're right, there's nothing in the main left. Let's actually have a look at how many structures have been killed. 15 turrets. Oh my god, no. There's gonna be another structure going down in a moment here. Kyo just keeps on pushing here. Pushing with the army, pushing with the commands, and he keeps on not repairing those. That's just... it's just so good. Yeah, MW, good to see you. Those games are from RSL, by the way, offline. Yeah, Shin against Cure. Now, Cure again pushing here into the left side, and he's gonna lose the command center to just some corruptors again. It's just so irresponsible here. I can't believe this. He lost 2 command centers just like that, and he has no money to reproduce even his army. What is he doing? Definitely a very lackluster approach here so far. And he just brings all the ghosts to snipe everything in the main, but that means that there's no ghosts with his army, so he cannot kill any retreating Ultralisks. This is still not fully saturated, even though he has a bunch of excess SCVs over here, over there. He's actually running low on SCVs at this point as well, 40 SCVs only left. He should have probably just pushed into the top corner here and gotten this base set up and like have stand his army over here and harass the space over there from the Zerg. I feel like that might have been a tactical position that you could have hold on to, and then you have also the drop which just comes into the right. You kind of can deny that from your top base there, so you keep your main and your infrastructure safe with that as well. And on the left side he already had a strong setup. He had 2 command centers, he had a couple tanks behind this, the 3rd planetary fortress behind, a sensor turret. He had everything set up. You just needed a few more buy units maybe, and then just roam a few units down to the bottom left to try and clear some bases. Now this position is gonna get broken again since there's nothing really defending there. He's just gonna lose all of the SCVs. The mines are not gonna have the best connections, and everything's getting kind of pushed back here into the main base, but Shin is not a fool. He's just not gonna run into the absolute meat grinder. He's just gonna walk back. He said, alright, I cleared a position, a mining position from you, so you now have to deal with this. Try to remake an army. Q has a big army, don't get me wrong, but he just does not get the wins. Now he's gonna push out. He says, alright, I killed a bunch of your stuff, but look at this, the medevacs, they are struggling to heal up the army at this point already. So, but yeah, what Q is basically saying, I killed a bunch of your stuff, and you have the weaker army right now. If we fight, I win. And he's trying to snowball this. So he says, I lost already so much, we're going to go into the offensive. The best, you know, defense is a good offense, as they say. Now Shin, he can bleed out like 4 bases and he won't even bat an eye. And Cure just killed one and is gonna go back. He needed to like move, patrol a few marines into this bottom area, patrol a few marines into this top area. There could have been, there's a easy place where you can just be away from the spine crawlers to harass that. This base has never been harassed. I'm not even sure if he's seen this base. He hasn't even seen this. Look at that. He's so occupied with defending that he just cannot get out on the map. He's trying to make a new command center over here and he's gonna go into the bottom area again, which I have to say I don't agree with. He had a good setup there before. Oh, that's kind of crazy. Why did they start targeting? Oh my god. Okay, so let's have a look at the lost structures. This is one of the big stories here in this game. We've killed 5 hatcheries. Yeah, that's nice, but not enough. 4 geysers, a bunch of add-ons, which, well, we don't care much about. 1 normal command center. The Ghost Academy has killed once. 5 sensor turrets. 22 turrets. Now he's going out, but he should have done this while he pushed into the center, right? So he could have killed this. We have 11 depots, 1 planetary, and 4 actual orbital commands. Imagine he has 6 more commands in this right now. Imagine he would have those. That would be so crazy, right? 6 more commands in this, that's a bunch. Yeah, Shin seems to be doing very good lately. Yeah, he is definitely on fire. But, I mean, he kind of has been for the past, like, I want to say 3 years or so. He's been really starting to grow above his own, like, come out of his comfort zone. It feels like, you know, I don't know, just grow into greatness, kind of. But he has yet to eclipse his final form, you know, where he can actually take a real big tournament win. He came close a few times. Oh my god, and this annoying style here with the changelings. Of course, this is creating so much vision here for Shin. 11,000, 5,000. When have you ever seen this in a pro game? Shin started to bleed off some drones. So from the 90s, he's now down into the 78. So his army's a little bit stronger. Can Cure hold this time? Cure's about maxed with all of the mines shoot into Overseers, and now the Banelings come into the occasion here and trying to run in, but again, he just settles for the orbital. He's just gonna wipe out the last mining base. Gonna say, alright, that's enough for me. Look at Cure's money. Look at the income. He has 8 minerals. His income is 0. He does not mine. He has no production. There's only units, and those are dying currently. They're just getting wrecked by the Ultralisks. Even though the Ultralisks are gonna get killed off right now because they simply cannot fight behind buildings. Like, Shin doesn't care. It's a technical KO at this point. It has been for a while. Kyo's just trying to move away from this place, but can you really give Shin this high ground? No, he's just gonna GG. He says, alright man, this just doesn't make any sense. Make more Overseers, yeah indeed. Shin the Great, master of aggression. It feels like though this Mutalisk meta coming back, the buffs to the Muta, they definitely benefit Shin. He has been always a Mutaling Bane player kind of, so never really like a big Roach or Hydra guy, even though he is of course extremely strong on those sides as well. Okay. Give me 1 second. Next map is gonna be Tokamak. I think this is the right one. Alright, there we are, and the next map is gonna be Tokamak. In the top right, we've got Shin up 1-0 in the space of 5, in the bottom left it is Cure. Now, can Cure make something happen here against Shin on this next map? Maybe a little bit more of a fast timing push could just be enough to do the trick. Maybe a little bit more of a strategic defensive setup, maybe a little bit more harassment while he is doing those defenses could be just enough to win him the game. I mean, the efficiency was amazing. If you can deny a lot more mining from Shin, for example, then Shin cannot do that, and then Cure has way more room to grow out on the map. So there are a lot of opportunities, there's a lot of things that are possibly able to be fixed from Cure's play, which you can adjust. But Shin, he could just do the same. He has been doing fine with that, so that might just be enough. His aggression was enough to overpower Cure. And Tokamak is another very big map, there's a lot of bases. This is a bit more open, it feels like, so maybe actually Botanical is bigger, I think. But like Tokamak, you can kind of play the same. There is so much to work with. Now this time we're not gonna see a Reaper opening. Oh, sorry. He already finished that one up, so we have the Reaper. But he did do an SUV Scout. Sees the timing of the hatch, says alright, let's keep the Reaper at home. So Shin expected, he went for a pool first if I'm not mistaken here, so he expected a 2 racks from Cure, or a 3 racks, which of course didn't happen, so there might be a little bit of an advantage here to Cure. The advantage that Shin is gonna have, he's gonna have a little bit more units, meaning not only links, it's mostly 1 extra queen, right? So as you can see, he already has 3 queens where you usually only have the 2. But of course this means his mining is delayed, his creep is a little bit later. It will, of course, start to push out very strongly because he already has that extra queen. He planted a creep tumor even in his main base. You just grow from there, so there's gonna be faster growth for the creep in a little bit here. Hello Shield Battery, good to see you. Cure on the other hand went into a 1-1-1 setup here, which is gonna go into a 3rd base, but not the fastest one, since we see there's already a 2nd gas. So this might be Cloak on Banshees, there we go. Actually, it is gonna be Cloak Banshees here, a little bit more Helium production, and we'll have to wait and see once he's gonna throw down. Yeah. We'll have to wait and see once he's gonna throw down that additional command center, but should be very shortly. Hellions roaming here to the north. There's the third. So it's gonna be into the wall here to try to keep him safe from any Ling run-bys. And he's trying to deny the creep, but that extra queen is already shown here quite nicely for Shin, so he can aggressively push out that creep and defend it in front with his queens. Even an Overseer coming in, he has a very fast lair actually. Wow, so Hydra Den on the way here, Evolution Chamber number 1 and number 2 being thrown down immediately. It's gotta be Hydra Ling Bane, or maybe only Hydra Ling for a little bit. We do see the first Banshee come in, but this might just be the counter you need. He already has the lair, so he already has Overseers. He already is gonna have anti-air units, which are not queens, right? So he's gonna have anti-air units, which might be a little bit more mobile, especially off creep, so he has more potential in sniping anything that tries to harass him. You made kimchi? Wow, that's kind of crazy. I've eaten a lot of kimchi, but I've never made myself. Sounds difficult. Now extra barracks coming online here. Ooh. Alright, excuse me for the delay. Now Shin, Baneling Nest, and the Baneling Speed is about to finish up here. His 2-2 is a little bit slower, but sorry, it's actually faster. Cures is slower. He's just starting it now, even though he had the armory for quite a while. Just forgot to start that upgrade. That could actually come to bite him. Oh, 2 Banes, just enough to blow up the SCVs. Do make it into the mineral line here. How much did you make? Like if you blend the sauce and stuff, did you make a good amount? Does it last very long? Like does it, the kimchi, is it like, how fast do you need to consume it, you know? It's probably not that long, right? A nappa, what's a nappa? No idea. Oh, okay. I'm not sure, like, where here in Japan, they're like in small boxes. It's like usually about 300 grams or something of kimchi, what you can buy. Most portions are like buyables are like between 150 and 300 are like the bigger ones, I want to say. Nice defense here on the left, but there's a big army moving through the middle here. It's probably about 1 kilo. Okay, that's quite the mass, yeah. Now, can Shin stop this army? I don't think so. He's immediately gonna cancel this base, but if he does lose this base here in the north, maybe this could be the moment for Cure to strike. This is a very nice position for the tank here. He can even shoot in front of the hatchery. These marines are covered, as you can see here by the tank siege line. These marines are actually covered. He's gonna pull them back, and look at this. 12 kills already on the tank, man. Really love this position. Shin is setting up a counter-attack on the left here. This is being seen by the medevac, so Cure could move units in position, which he's actually doing. He needs to siege the tanks. A little bit late on the trigger there. Just in time, though. 2-2 finishing up here, just in the moment. To keep on pushing. Drones! Where are you going, drones? They're about to hit the tank line there. That would have been an amazing shot for Cure. +1 finishing up on the tanks, and the reinforcements coming in here, which just made the defense happen on the left side. Shin might want to actually join his army and get one overwhelming mass to try and fight off this push, but he's just gonna say, all right, let's give you the base. I'm gonna transfer the drones to the left this time and not into the bottom, and I will just try to fight on top of creep. So Shin says, like, yeah, man, we're not gonna go off creep, but if you come on top of creep, well, I will kill you. He's gonna make another run by here into the bottom, or center bottom position, and he's gonna be able to cancel the commands under the few structures there. But in the meantime, Cure's push, it looks so scary. It's already inside of the main base here. And look at this deep tank line. This is so many tanks. Oh my god, he's 11 freaking tanks. And remember, no more grabs. It needs to be blinding clouds. Blinding clouds are good though. This marine bulk here, he cannot shoot. Blinding clouds are good. He's ignoring the north side because he knows there's no fire, no attacks coming from that. So he clears the whole deep tank line. This 25 commander tank is gonna die as well. Wow. That was what? 9 tanks or something? 7 tanks he just killed? 7 tanks, 77 marines, 777. That's a lucky number for Shin here. Not for Cure, unfortunately. Wow, that was a really, really, really efficient clear. I must say, I'm very impressed by that. That was just the perfect blinding clouds and the most insane execution afterwards. He really got the most out of 2 blinding clouds. He killed 7 tanks with 2 blinding clouds. Right? Like, that's kind of crazy. A tank line, a deep tank line of 7 tanks with 2 blinding clouds only. And he did not have those tanks clumped up. He only blinding clouded 2 tanks. So he fought 5 tanks. Just because he was completely spread out, a very nice arc coming in there, and he used just the right amount of units, he used just the right approach, he killed off everything that was shooting at him, and then moved over to the guys that could not shoot while being under the blinding clouds. I mean, it makes sense, right? They're just disabled, basically. Unless they unsiege and walk away and re-siege again. Well, you basically buy time, right? They cannot do anything. It's kind of like a stasis. It's kind of like a stasis, really, to be honest. Like, if you have a tank under a blinding cloud, it cannot shoot until the thing goes away, or it needs to move and then set up again. Wow. 5 tanks this time under the blinding clouds. Make it even 7. Now they start to go away, but the tanks, they just cannot seem to find a good engage here. And just a few blinding clouds is enough to just break these positions here. This time though, he does not fully break the position, and we do have a mobile force here on the right actually coming in and getting a base snipe there for Cure as well. He is not able to push further into the north here. We do see the banelings re-establishing themselves. This tank might get left behind here in a little bit. Cure Cure's trying to reinforce here into the top left corner as well. I like the double prong approach. If he can keep these bases under control, this should be a cancel here, very easily done. That would be quite nice. 2 more blinding clouds though, not enough tanks here on the left side. The Vipers, he needs to have something to deal with those. He needs Ghosts, he needs Vikings, anything. Or like drop on top of them with Marines, I don't know. He needs something to just clear those Vipers, because those have been a pain in the ass for Cure. He's trying to push through in the center, but the reinforcements coming from the left flank here are gonna be in time to just throw this one back. And Cure's armies are starting to bleed off, little by little. He's just not trading efficiently enough, it seems. Meanwhile, I mean, the good thing for Cure is he's not really losing much economy behind this. He's not really losing... Oh, boy! That was a very good trade here for Shin. But yeah, I mean, what I was saying, like, Cure is not really losing much, except for his army, which is okay. Of course, you don't want to lose too much, because then you're just gonna get overwhelmed. But he has so much, right? He can lose a position. He doesn't need to. He can lose this planetary, which he might not even, because he has units coming in. Banelings as well coming in. If he could snipe the Vipers, that would be amazing. He does not. He also does not lose, well, keep the planetary alive, unfortunately. Man, Shin, how is he making these engages look so smooth for him? He just has the correct amount of units coming in to the correct times. They're kind of reinforcing at the perfect moment with the perfect units, it seems, and making those engages just look so silly. Like, why would you even try this as Cure? But yeah, Cure just lost the base, and unfortunately it seems like he did not grow enough behind all of his pressure. And now Shin, it's his turn. He's on the aggressive. He killed one base, he kills the next base. Can he make this happen here? He's trying to run in very deep with the Banes. I wish we had some cloak on the Ghost. He's actually gonna lose this base here, not even trying to lift that one. We still have some more bases for Cure, so this is not the end of the world. Unless he just loses this game here right now. Shin could make it happen, but maybe the Medivac healing is a little bit too strong here. A tiny bit of pickup micro there to dodge some Hydra missiles there. And in the end, the reinforcements are just barely enough here to hang on. 48 SCVs, 2 bases down the drain. If Shin gets aggressive, wow, that's a sledgehammer. Going into Lurkers now, finally he has the time, he has the resources, he has everything he needs to get up that further tech leap where he wants to be. We already have the Ghost for Cure, so Cure is already there. Shin kind of needs to get that going. He does not have the big money behind this, so like he made a choice, right? Either he techs up with this while he's doing the attack, he techs up, or he tries to secure like 2 or 3 more bases. He secured 1 more base and he did tech up, so that's his choice he made. But now he needs to be a little bit more on the defensive again. He needs to get the tech units out first and have them in a good position. He's going into Nidus network. There might be some Nidus main shenanigans coming in here very soon. And Cure, well, he needs to rebuild, he needs to reassemble, get the Avengers back on the team, and, you know, used all the benched people he had from before, because he used all of his bank. He needs to reestablish his economy and the army. So it's like a, how do you say, a pat situation, we say in German, where basically no one can kill the other guy, because no one has anything to throw at the other dude, right? So both players can kind of re-establish themselves on the map here right now. We see this, both basically double expanding, which is kind of funny to see. This is nothing, like, how many times do you see that into 18 minutes into a game where both players are like, alright, we can't attack each other, let's both take 2 expands. Very rare situation here. Hello, Mr. Kling, good to see you again as well. Man, crazy. 47 workers again here for Cure. He has still a bunch of command centers, so it's actually a relatively easy remake for him. There's the Nidus coming into that natural base, actually not the main as I expected, but Shin is starting to do his overseer strat. He's starting to do, I mean it's not his, but he's starting to do this with the changelings, getting vision everywhere. Like, we can have a quick look here at his vision. His vision here, his vision there. Not that much, but as you can see, he has like changelings. He's starting to throw them down. And yeah, just evacuating with the lurkers. I think he might have lost one. This is kind of a backup Nidus. Of course, these Nidus are going to be expensive if he does not have the correct amount of mining behind this, but he has been just not attacking. He's just been harassing, basically, keeping Cure back. Tactically is the approach, like, Cure, you stay at home, and I just use a few of my units. I use a little bit of money, and in the meantime, I've just established 3 bases. Let me take another one, the 4th one. So, like, SHIN's mining is to be out of control in just a moment. He is on 84 drones, and he's really getting there. And there we see again the mass changelings coming in here, getting into the bases. And it's just so annoying to click all of them down. Like, non-pros, honestly, a community patch, you know. There's something you need to do with this, because this does simply not... Oh my god, he even loses 2 SCVs, that's so funny. Like, even pros struggle with this, right? And they are so fast, they have like so much APM to spare. Like, look at this. How would a normal human being, you know, fight this on the ladder? It's like impossible. Now, on the left side here, Cure is getting pushed back. It's so funny that he has this like remote missile turrets and like supply depot still over here. Okay, this is kind of funny, and I think this is really smart by SHIN. So he destroyed the resources, like these cooling towers. They will kill off the mineral fields below, and then he opens up this space so he can actually move even links through there. He can move Banes in as well to start and blow up the worker line there. So this, what looks kind of like a defensive, very strong position at first, because of the mineral wall, and then you can still have the cooling towers collapse and stuff, actually is not if you play against lurkers and hydras, right? That's a nice cleanup here though. A lot of snipes, not really a good reaction there by SHIN. He loses a bunch of his lurkers, but at this point he's starting to get the bank, he's starting to get the money, he's starting to get the credits, and he can just start to throw away units like that. He loses an overseer here in the top, but he has a base coming up here, he has a base coming out here, and that's gonna be all of the bases being mined from, except for this one, which is already half mined out, by the way, but yeah. More command centers. Cure had some excess minerals. He says like, alright, we need more command centers. I don't hate this choice. Maybe make one over here. He's trying to get into the bottom right. He doesn't know that this has already been mined from. And there's actually a lot of money already. I guess he just started mining from this. But yeah, 25 drones. He saturates this very heavily. He needs to saturate this space as well as soon as possible. Like, I would pull all of these drones and just go over here. Honestly. Maybe I would expose too many of my drones, maybe just pull half of them. But you want to mine out these spaces. And yeah, Cure's gonna do the same. So he will kill for 3 drones as well with collapsing cooling towers. All of the bases belong, all of your bases belong to us. Yeah, that's what SHIN has as his motto written on top of his forehead right now. Can he make the truth? Oh my god, changelings walking in from the north. Banelings walking in from the east. Alright, so we have the mech transition coming in right now. I think we have a bunch of factories here. There's Infernal Pre-Igniter there, you see the extra factories coming in, so there's gonna be Hellbats and tanks trying to, you know, be efficient. He does not actually have full mech upgrades, so that's something he should fix. He's getting his +3 attack, but he needs that defense as well if he wants his units to stay alive for a little bit longer. But I mean, already going into Hellbats, maybe he's not really spending his money smart, because he's starting to mine out. I mean, look at this. There's not much left here. There's not much left there. Wait, there's a gas. There's 300 gas in that still. This base, of course, is gold, so it mines out very fast. Now he needs to pick up and drop on the other side. Pick up and drop on the other side. No, he's getting crushed in the bottom right at the same time. If Cure manages to establish this base, the issue though is where are you gonna go from here? Like, I want to see him actually get the left side, because there's two, like 1.5 base kind of. If he manages to establish his base in the bottom right though, yeah, like where do you go? You kind of need to expand to your own broken base. These tanks, man, they should have so many kills, by the way. Oh, he didn't look for a moment. He stood on creep. He was not split. Oh, the medivacs didn't move correctly. Oh my god, what a massacre there. Really good engage here for Shin. The captain tanks. Oh my god, this commander with 40 kills. I mean, the efficiency is out of the roof, right? But look at the army supply right now for Shin. It was at 32. And now he just makes Broodlords. 15 Corruptors coming in. Does he have the Great Aspire? He does indeed, so he's just gonna go into Broodlords. 15 Broodlords. That's why he's keeping his supply so low. Now, of course, he needs something to deal with with Cure's army. If Cure just says like, alright, let's go right now. He has 120 army supply, right? So he can push, actually. He's going here to this north position. I don't hate it, but this is already quite low. So Shin has been mining a lot of resources from this. Look at the gases. They already have about 800 to 1,000 drained from them. So that's a lot of money that Shin already extracted from this point. But Cure is kind of hanging in there. One thing I want to see him re-establish and strengthen a little bit is this position here in the middle, because he kept on losing stuff here. He had like tanks set up here, but those are gone. Like raise these depots, put a tank over here, put a tank over here. He still has one on this high ground, which is quite nice. It's kind of the only anchor though for this position, for this location. So the production is a little bit under threat if Shin wants to go into the... He actually gets damage for that. He gets the friendly fire damage on the tank. For 3 banelings. Now he needs to carefully select. He even misclicked a few, because if he uses the friendly fire from the tanks, right? That's when you lose again. Now he has so many bases over here, I think he already needed to float one over. He's trying to make a new one to bring that one over, but that's just taking too much time. Like, he has all of this time he's giving to Shin right now, and Shin is making the most of this. He's making an unbeatable army right now. 15 Broodlords, I think he's morphing 2 more, making it 17 now. Cure sees this. Now he's trying to set up his base. Look at that. He already had so much time because he waited for this freaking command center to finish up. Now he's setting up this base. He was here already for like 2 minutes. He could have already have that established. Like float over a freaking command center, land there, get some mules dropped, extract money, you know, extract value. Oh my god, 8 more Broodlords. He's just going all in on Broodlords. There is 5 Vikings. So if you just like, if the, 5 Liberators. Like Liberator anti-air is undervalued. We do not have any air upgrades, which is unfortunate, and there is +1 armor here. How many missiles do they shoot? It's 2 attacks, so there's double armor penetration. Like, look at this. There's nothing Liberators need to be dealing with on the ground. There's no Ultralisks. There's just Banes, there's Ninks, and there's Infestors. That's not really something you want to spend your Liberator damage on. If you could just AoE the frickin' shit out of these Broodlords, because they're so clumped. I feel like that's an underestimation for a lot of Terran players. They're just sieging up the Liberators like, hey, yeah man, they don't have an anti-air attack, while they actually deal with clumped units crazily good. They could have killed all of these. Look at that. Now he's starting to get in. Look at how much damage they actually deal. That's 3 Liberators with 3 volleys. Look at how they're actually dealing with this. Like, imagine he had the 5. It's not that fast, I know, but if he has like 7 libs, he's just gonna frickin' 3-sweep those. Like, you need to have a completely different approach than this Shin. Look at them, they're all half health. Imagine during the whole fight he had all of the Liberators keep on shooting on the Broodlords. They would have been dead by this point. Like, definitely a big mistake there on the engagement for Shin, I feel like. The Liberators, they didn't really kill that much on the ground. Like, what did they kill? Lynx, Banes, yeah. Right? Like, why? If you kill the air, you can kind of deal with the ground eventually again. Like, killing the air army is the priority here. You don't need to finish off the Banes. Of course, you want to keep your bio alive, but honestly, if it dies, if you can kill the air army, you're still gonna be fine. Because that's where the money sink went into. If he kills all of this is so much value right now. Now Q's saying, alright, F it, let's go base trade here. He's gonna go to the left, try to clean whatever he can. Meanwhile, unfortunately, all of his investment was into the bottom right corner, so he's re-establishing his base over here. I think he might have floated the main base, that's exactly what he did. And Shin has probably started to just throw on banelings into this army over and over again to try and slow it down. But actually, Kyo says like, let's go back. I might not be fast enough in this base trade. And he's just making Thors, which can deal with Broodlords, but not with 27. There's only 21 left, I guess. Now, he's very indecisive right now. He's going to the north, he's going back to the south again. He's starting to lose more and more command centers. So all of that investment he had in the past like 5 minutes is just going par. The infrastructure he set up over here is going par. And he just amasses his army kind of. He doesn't even have free supply. So those are the last two units that's going to be produced here for Kyo, and one is even just walking into his death with a bad rally here. Look at that. Kyo definitely not looking the hottest right now in Shin. I mean, he's just having a field day, as I said. He just has his fun. He sees the army movement, of course, with all of the changelings. Kyo has given up on them. We do see the first neural, a EMP on the Ghost here. Does unfortunately not have the perfect hits there. Ghost not really clumped, but now Fungal coming in. And again, the siege up here on, I think it was in one labyrinth anyways, but this army, I mean, he's even trolling him with the Overseers standing on top right now. This army is just going down. Brutals are dying, but I mean, he only kills half of them. It's not nearly enough. And now he's just shooting Brutals. Shin, it's gonna take the 2-0 lead here. What a freaking game. Yeah, Kyo had a point where he was up 100 supply, right? And then comes the big remax with a big swell of Broodlords there. What a nice game from Shin. I feel like Cure again was too passive. He does not make enough out of his position. Like, he wins a really good fight, he takes an amazing trade, he gets a perfect position to do whatever he wants, and he just does not do anything with it. He doesn't go aggressive, he does not send out any drops, he does not take enough bases. He takes like one base, but he should have been taking two because he had such a good fight. It feels like his read is just not there on the situation that occurred, so unfortunately he just does not go the extra miles, he does not go the extra steps he needs to take to be able to kind of put more pressure on Shin and maybe actually get a lot of value, and then have Shin maybe, you know, into a corner. But unfortunately he does not go that deep, so Shin is gonna be able to get away with all of these kind of greedy approaches where he, I mean, like, you try to make 27 Broodlords at once in a TVZ against Cure. That's actually very difficult. In the bottom center position here on Mothership, it is Cure, and the top left we do have Shin. So far so good for Shin, looking quite nice. 2-0. Can Kyo bring it back? Reverse sweep. That would be 3 maps in a row. This map though, it's not halfable. It's a 3-player map. There's no split, 50-50 split. So like positionally it's just not possible. So far this should be actually good for Shin, but again, this is a 3-player map, so there might be a lot of opportunity for Kyo, because there's a lot of angles of attack into the main base, for example. Just kinda... I want to see a Polled Viking, you know? I just want to see him go darken the map and, you know, be aggressive, like a 2-on-1 with a Polled Viking. Be super aggressive, go around the map. I like even the 3cc approach with that, that's fine. And just get like a Viking afterwards. Send that around. Maybe even 2, you know. Try to darken the map as fast as you can. Yeah, Reaper's gonna go into the wrong direction, and Shin also goes into the wrong direction. Who's gonna see whom? Oh, it's actually the SCV. So Cure he sees the SCV, and the SCV also sees the Overlord. He sees there's no base here, so he's like, there's an Overlord but no base. Alright, let's go to the other one. The Grim Reaper has arrived. And Shin is just going for normal 3-hatch opening here. Actually already hiding that drone. He could go for the main base over here if he wants to be very cute about this. He's just gonna hide the drone a little bit in plain sight over here for the 3rd base location. And he has the money, so he's gonna make the base. Oh, the Reaper might just die 1 HP here. He's gonna find the base. It's gonna be a 1-1-1, but on 2 gases, so this might again be cloaked banshees. Maybe you can get a little bit of a better trade out of those this time. And as you can see on the last map, we did have that pool first, right? So we had 3 queens quite early, and the creep is completely different. Like the timing and the growth of the creep is way slower, the defense of the creep is way slower, there's no tumor in the main. And finally we do have 2 queens in the front here, but that took quite a while here. Reaper tries to go in there from the natural jump-in point, but unfortunately does not make it. The Hellions are gonna greet the queens here over there, and we do see the indeed cloaked Banshee coming in. No Raven shenanigans or anything like that. Like, Raven needs a rework, don't you think? It's not really a good unit if it's only used in a mirror match, right? Now, Hellions trying to trade against the queen, but we already see the next 2 queens coming in here, so 4 queens are there. And look, just makes queens, man. Good unit. 3rd command center on the way, of course a little bit later, since this is a gas intensive opening here to get those banshees going as fast as possible. Meanwhile, well, he's trying to darken the map with those Hellions, but of course there's the Overlords, right? He flew through the Overlord over here with the Banshee. He has Overlords sitting over there and over here to see everything, so even one down here. Banshee again is gonna go through the vision, so he knows, and like, why would you do this, right? Where's the Polled Viking when you want one? When you need one? Vision is such a big tool here in this game. I have to say, I'm a little bit nitpicky maybe on Cure, but I don't feel he's really making good choices, you know? Now we do see a cloak before going into the vision, and that's of course going to drain a lot of energy in the fresh Banshee just doesn't have that much. He's just looking for, I'm not even sure what he's looking for, maybe some queens. Now he's actually going into the main, so he was looking for the position of the queens, but I mean, he gets 1 drone, right? For such a big investment, like before 3rd CC into the Banshees with that cloak even coming in. And now he just has them sit here. He damaged 1 hatchery a little bit and he shot 1 drone. That's it. Is that enough, do you think? I mean, of course, it technically keeps him safe and stuff like that, but honestly, like, why would Shin even try to do... I mean, he could even, yeah, I guess he could do an aggressive move, because he just has games to throw away if it comes down to that, right? But, yeah. Hydralisk Den on the way. And I don't think, like... Shin didn't even try anything aggressive. Like, look at this. 7 minutes into the game, he never moved out with a unit across the map. No links really, nothing really to pressure anything. Nothing to try and attack these SCVs over here. Now, finally, the first wave is gonna go and roam the base a little bit. Sorry, the map a little bit. He just stayed on his creep. He just scouted with a few overlords. He's gonna lose a Baneling there, unfortunately. Oh, is he gonna lose another one? Nope, it gets away. They keep on rolling. Now, this is a push from Cure without the Hell Bats yet, because the armory is a tiny bit late. Actually, as you can see here, the upgrades are gonna finish up. The armory is not done yet, so it should be a tiny bit faster, but you should probably still be okay to transform those guys. Oh, maybe not. Maybe I spoke too soon. And there we go. Engage comes in. 1-1 is finished up, but as you can see, no Hellbats here and no extra beef to this army. If this would have been Hellbats, maybe he just has a little bit extra health he needs there to stay alive. Second factory coming in here. Double tech production is probably gonna start very soon, unless we see the Widowman upgrade coming in. And there's the 2-2 with the combat shields coming in as well. And we should see 2 more barracks. Oh, they already finished up. So eventually we're gonna see 3 more barracks and another command center here from Kyo. On the other side, we do see only +1 finishing up right now here, but no +2 started yet, so that's something Shin needs to fix. He's kind of investing a lot of money into Banelings and some upgrades, Overlord speed and Hydralisk speed, so he's kind of foregoing the extra upgrades here on the units, which I think is a little bit of a mistake. He has some money right now. There we go. He's gonna start that +2 armor. Banshees fighting against the queen, not really the position where I want to be in. Killed 5 drones, which is okay, yeah. It's nice, but it's actually not that big. Like, the queens, they don't really care, right? Like, Shin, 5 drones at this point, he doesn't really care that much. That's a nice trade here for Shin and for Kyo, and a good pickup. Really like that one. He shot as many links as he could without losing too many marines, and then just picked up into the medevacs and got away. Very well done. It was a really good trade, very efficient, very cute. Now we do have combat shields. We're gonna hit 2-2 very soon as well. Drilling claws coming in, so we again see the mine transition. I hope he's gonna move the factory to a reactor after this as well. We already see the extra barracks come in here, and we're gonna hopefully see some Ghost Academy shenanigans coming in soon as well. Now, 4th base is finished up. It's gonna float over to the central position. That's an interesting space. If you can manage to get that set up and run in and just stick around there, that could be a nice staging point for attacks. And also, oh my god, his army is gonna get crushed. A full surround here. Easy cleanup. Oh my god, even the reinforcements just walking into a baneling there on the left side as well. And now the upgrades do finish, but he just lost the army, so he kind of is already forfeiting this position. He's going into the bottom right here and just gonna probably take that one, because he's not gonna be able to stick around on this high ground here with his current force. Oh my god, he even needs to be careful here on the right. It's just not enough army to stand the ground. Oh my god, is Shin just gonna win this game here? He's rolling through every position right now. As I said, though, there's still marines here on the right. Somehow the banelings did not find the right connection there, and Bane's coming into the natural might be the biggest threat. If they can get into the mineral line, there might be a big bada boom, and there is 13 SCVs do go down. Make it a little bit more here. This army might not be stopped. He killed the top right ground force. He's killing everything here in the 3rd base as well. We do see more banelings here. Nice splitting there of the SCVs, but I mean, boom. Boom, still boom. 30 SCVs have been killed. Now the Banes, can they get a good connection here on these marines? Oh, he's running, and he gets it done. He still has his command center. He had SCVs inside, so he Still has some SCVs, he has some commands, he has 4 CCs, he's gonna lose this geyser. But he has some economy, he has production, he has potential. But there's a lot going for SHIN right now. 191 supply for 100. 60 army supply for Cure. The tech is looking devastating. It's 40 marines and 6 medevacs. That's all he has for army. No tanks, no widow mines, no marauders, no ghosts. He has no 3-3 on the way, and there's just more banelings than marines at this point. Everything's coming in here, flooding into the main base, flooding into the natural base, flooding into the third base. More SCVs dying. Technically, there might be another no KO, but I don't even think so. There we go. SHIN is just gonna overpower so fast on this map, man. Cure tried to establish a 4th base and just like, alright. I think that's where you made the mistake, where you cannot do anything and I just kill you right now. Boom! And he goes in. Blows up the whole thing. Not enough siege units. I mean, catching that army in the top right, kind of getting the tanks there for free. That enabled him to push through. No siege units, no anchor points, not enough obstructions, not enough buildings in front, on the outside for Cure to fall back to, and that Lingbane Hydra composition was just too strong. The engagements looked good for SHIN. He knew the exact angles to come in from. He caught some units on, you know, move commands as well, which was really nice. So very, very well played there by SHIN. Did not let anything slip away from him.